shop. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome here this afternoon. My name's Mark Hammond, and I have the pleasure of serving as the District Court Judge of Marion County, Alabama. And we have gathered here today for a very special occasion. History is being made in Marion County today, and we're going to, in just a few minutes, swear in our new elected officials, and it's an honor and a privilege that Paige has asked me to help MC this. And we have so many dignitaries in this room that I don't want to start trying to mention everybody because I'll forget somebody. So I'll let Mr. David Hall, our chairman of the party, do that here just in a little bit. But thank you all for coming. I know these candidates appreciate it very much. Or not candidates anymore, elected officials. After they get sworn in just a few minutes, it's a taxing thing. It's a difficult thing to run for office. You put yourself and your family out on the line, all of which these folks have done, and they've been successful in the races, and I think we have elected us a fine slate of candidates. And thank you all for being here. It's my honor and privilege to introduce our former presiding circuit judge, Mr. Bobby Aderholt, who is going to do the swearing in just a minute. But before we do that, I would like to call upon our state representative. Representative, where are you? Representative Tracy Estes, to open us up in a word of prayer, if you would.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day and the gift that it is for us. We thank you for your loving care. We thank you for your protection. Lord, on this special day, I thank you for these three people today who have stepped forward and as the judge said, put their family and their own good name out on the line to run for office. I thank you, Lord, for the dignity with which they conducted their campaigns. I thank you for their personal friendship to me. And I pray that they'll always remember this special day in their lives. I pray, Lord, you'll make it a benchmark in their memory. Pray, Lord, right now that you will give them wisdom as they lead this county in their respective offices. Lord, put your hedge of protection around them, Lord, that they might be protected from any ill will that might come their way. Give them the courage, Lord God, to make the tough decisions that sometimes need to be made. And I pray, Lord, your blessing down on the remainder of this ceremony today, and just pray that everything we do will be in keeping with your will. In Christ's name we ask it. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Tracy. Now it is my distinct honor and pleasure and privilege to introduce Judge Bobby Aderholt to come up and do the introductions. It's a man that has meant a lot to this, not only to our county, but to this whole judicial circuit, and of course the state of Alabama. And he's been a blessing to me professionally and personally. And with that, I turn it over to you, Judge Aderholt. And after Judge Aderholt swears each candidate in, we'd like to give them each an opportunity to say a few words if they would like. And I've tried to tell Paige that we'll limit hers to 45 minutes.
Thank you, Judge Hammond. And what a special day this is. And it's an honor for me to be here to do the swearing in of today for these newly elected officials. And I want to add to what Judge Hammond said. It's good to see each and every one of you here today, and regret that you don't have seats for everyone, but this won't take all that very long. It doesn't take but a minute to swear each one of these in, so I'm going to preface the swearing in by making a few remarks about the history of politics in Marion County. As you know, that there are three candidates here today to be sworn in, and they're all ladies. And I remember back when we didn't have any lady officials in Marion County. In 1970, Judge Annette Bozeman was elected probate judge, and she served for, I think, about 18 years, and then there was a Judy Miller followed her, and then in the revenue office, there used to be two offices, as you know, the tax collector and assessor. The next lady to be elected to office in Marion County, I believe, was Susie Post. And she served several years as tax assessor And then when the two offices were combined into the revenue officer, she served in that capacity for a while. And so we haven't had all that many ladies who have become Marion County officials. And might add this too, 6 years later, I was elected circuit judge, and I became unique in that I was the only Republican in the courthouse, and people used to come by and stick their head in and say, just wanted to stop by and say hello and to see you, because we've never seen a Republican before. But after I was elected, some more Republicans started being elected, and until this point in time, I understand that every elected official in the county is a Republican. So I give Judge Bozeman some credit for breaking the ice, and as Hillary would say, the glass ceiling, and got elected as a woman. And then I'll take all the credit for all of the others being a Republican. I say that facetiously, but I tell you what, I would truly believe that we do have some of the finest public officials in our county that you will find anywhere. So it is a real honor and a pleasure for me to be here today and to perform these duties. Denise Mixon, will you step forward? Put your hand on the Bible, the left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I, Denise Mixon,
I, Denise Mixon,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of Alabama,
and the Constitution of Alabama,
so long as I continue a citizen thereof,
as long as I continue to be a citizen thereof,
and that I will faithfully and honestly
that I will faithfully and honestly
discharge the duties of the office of Circuit Court Clerk,
of the office of Circuit Court Clerk,
upon which I am about to enter,
upon which I am about to enter,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the citizens of Marion County for your support, your prayers, your encouragement, and your vote that kept me as your circuit clerk. I'd especially like to thank my family, friends, and supporters for all the time that they put into my campaign. I'm honored and humbled to be your circuit clerk, and I will do the best that I can to have an office that you will all be proud of. Thank you.
Paige, come forward. Place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I, Paige Nichols-Vick,
I, Paige Nichols-Vick,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Alabama,
and the Constitution of the State of Alabama,
so long as I continue a citizen thereof,
so long as I continue a citizen thereof,
and that I will faithfully and honestly discharge the duties of the office of probate judge.
And that I will, you don't have to say that again, that I will faithfully,
And that I will faithfully and honestly
I will faithfully and honestly
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of probate judge,
of the office of probate judge,
upon which I am now about to enter,
upon which I'm now about to enter,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God. Well, even when I'm in the courtroom trying cases, I never did too good standing back there. I've always kind of right up in the crowd. So that's how I'm going to talk to y'all today. I am thankful. I'm anxious. I'm excited. I'm excited about this next chapter of my life. I've been working towards it already. I've spent several days in some other offices across the state. The probate judges have been very welcoming, and they've given me some great ideas that hopefully we're going to implement here. Last Friday, I spent the day in Hueytown with S&W. That is our computer server. And I wanted to go in Tuesday, kind of have an idea of how I'm supposed to operate this computer. So they spent all day with me there, teaching me some things. And so I'm doing this because I want to do a good job for y'all. I want Marion County to be proud that they elected me. But more importantly, I want Marion County to be proud of this office. I'm ready to have a professional office that everybody's proud of. Now, before you can open one chapter, you have to close another. So, I have practiced this about 15 times so I don't cry. So, no promises. But, for 15 years, I had another family. Having a law enforcement. And I cleaned up my office. I turned in my gun. But I've still got a few things I haven't returned. And before I do that, I want to say there are several law enforcement in here. I love you. You've had my back. I've had your back. And I'm going to continue to love you. We're still going to be family. But, Sheriff, if you would come forward.
Oh, it's so good.
Well, I need to return a key to you. That was the key to the jail. And he has granted me unfettered access to the jail and has helped me. He's been a great mentor and confidant, and oftentimes the wisdom. So I appreciate you, Sheriff. Now, where's Scott Sladden? Now, this one's the tearjerker. Back years ago, when I took on the responsibilities of being a deputy district attorney, I was given a badge. And a pretty bad looking haircut, if you want the truth. But this badge is simply a piece of metal. But this metal is a symbol of the faith that the state of Alabama had in me to uphold the Constitution and the criminal laws of Alabama. In my new job, I'm not going to leave. I love you guys, and
repeat after me. I, Glinda Cochran,
I, Glinda Cochran,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of Alabama,
and the Constitution of Alabama,
so long as I continue
as long as I continue
a citizen thereof,
a citizen thereof.
and that I will faithfully and honestly
I will faithfully and honestly
discharge the duties of the office
discharge the duties of the office
of Marion County Coroner,
of Marion County Coroner,
upon which I am about to enter,
which I am
about to enter,
about to enter,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. Well, I'm not as used to Paige just standing here. The only time I was in the courtroom, it was right over there one time. So I'm not quite, and I'm not used to live audience like this, but I do. I wondered who would catch that. Sorry, I like to have a little fun, y'all, now, so. But I can be serious, and I am serious about my job and the job that y'all just voted me in for. But first of all, I want to thank God, because He is the number one in my life. And I feel like as long as we put Him first, everything else is going to fall in place. But I want to thank everyone that voted for me and supported me. And all the weed eating my husband done to keep the signs out. He was told that he got some votes for me while he weed eated. So I'm going to put him back out there this summer, and maybe in 4 years he can give me some more votes. So, but anyway, I just do appreciate everything that everybody has done, and I am going to do a really good job for y'all. And like I said when I came in here, I'm going to do it honestly, with integrity, with respect, sensitivity to Marion County. And I want y'all to remember me. I want y'all to pray for me. I asked God to direct my way. I asked Him in my job, and I also will in this job. And as I've talked to people around in the counties, I have talked with some of the coroners in the counties around me, and they have really been great to try to help me to get started, and I do appreciate that. And they tell me that they hope that we could all work together. And I hope that we all can work together. There was one thing that we had talked about on one of the talk shows, that of the sheriff of Winston County was one of the main problems that the counties had was drugs. And so my goal is I want to support the awareness of drugs and suicide, because as I've worked in the funeral homes the last few years between Marion County and Sprite, we have seen things that came that a coroner had to go out because of drugs. And sometimes it ends with a coroner call. But if drugs don't lead to death, it leads to kids without a home. People can't carry on a job. I mean, you know, the government is having to support them. And we look out and we think that everything is so bad that it's not worth trying to fix. But I think if we all work together, we can make a difference. If we can just save one life, that would be a lot. And there's a lot of kids out there that really needs us, y'all. You know, together we stand, and divided we fall. And as I look around, I'm afraid we're more divided than we are together. So I think we all need to really keep that in prayer. Thank y'all.
In closing, let me say that it's not only been a pleasure for me to be here today and participate in this event, but I would like to say that I have worked with Paige and Denise in the court system for many years, and I can vouch for their abilities and their determination and their dedication to the job. Now, I have never met Glinda until came in the courtroom this afternoon, But after listening to her speech, I think I can say the same thing about her, that she's fired up and she's ready to go do a good job as our coroner. And you may get to come in the courtroom and give some testimony about your work sometimes. You may get some courtroom experience. Hillary blames a lot of the women on her not winning the election. If she come down here and campaign with these three and let them show her how to campaign, she might do better. Again, thank all of you for coming, and I'll turn the program back over to Judge Hammond.
Does everybody think that the county's in good hands now? And Glinda, I really admire your humor about the live audience. Well, I was just thinking, Alfred slicked up so good, he looked good enough to bury himself.
I practiced on him every once
Ain't
in a
that
while.
right, Elvis? A little premature. I'd like to turn it over now to Mr. David Hall, the chairman of the Republican Party. David has done a yeoman's job as the chairman of the Republican Party. I know when I first started out in my political career, there was 6, 7, or 8 meetings on that one Saturday morning of the month, and that has grown, sometimes to standing room only, and I think it's attributable to David in large part for taking a proactive role. And not only that, he also represents our district. He can tell you a little more about that in the Republican Party in this part of the state. But with that being said, David Hall.
Mark, I appreciate that. It's good to see such a big crowd out here today. We had a outstanding swearing-in ceremony, and I appreciate Judge Aderholt coming and doing that. And I also appreciate what Judge Aderholt has done and meant for the party. When I started attending the Republican Party meetings back in 2012, we didn't have a whole lot of folks that were attending, and I was elected chairman in 2013. And since that time, you know, the party's grown, and we've gone from 4 elected officials who were Republicans in Marion County to, I think we have 2 coroners who are still Democrats, but all other elected officials in the county are Republicans now. And before I forget it, I want to recognize Jerry and Ronnie Mobley from Winston County. Jerry is chairman of the Winston County Party over there. And I told Jerry back in 2013 that if we were going to aspire to become all Republicans like Winston County has been for many years. So Jerry, we have reached that point. So I'm glad you're here today to help celebrate with us. But if there are any other Republicans from other counties, Fayette County or Franklin County or any of the other counties in Mark County, I hadn't seen you, but if you're here, raise your hand and I'll recognize you. As Mark mentioned, I'm chairman of the 4th Congressional District, which is 13 counties. And it's Congressman Aderholt's Congressional District. It stretches from Cobb County down to Tuscaloosa County, then up to DeKalb County. And it's a very large geographic district, and it's challenging to get around and see all of the counties in the district, but I have tried to do that over the last 2 years. And I have enjoyed doing that and met a lot of new friends. But Mark thought he was going to put the introducing all of the elected officials here. There are 20 Republican elected officials who live in Marion County. And I've got a list of them in my pocket, but they're all good politicians, and I saw them work in the crowd when I first came in. So I'm not going to go through and take the time to introduce them all. Because I see a lot of people's been standing up back there during this entire time. And we got plenty of food up here. And you better come up here and eat some, because we don't want to, have a lot of leftovers. But we've got, I think, barbecue, and we've got other sandwiches and cake. And I want everybody to come up here. So on behalf of the Marion County Republican Party, I want to thank you for coming and welcome you here and invite you to come up and have some food and fellowship with us. So, Mark, do you have anything else you want to say? If not, we're adjourned, and come on up. Appreciate you being here.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/49 County News TV.